Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hare. Gopi Janavallabha Girivara Dhari. Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Follow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande, Jai Vishwad Paramahamsa Parivarchakacharya, His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nitya Jai Vishwad Paramahamsa Parivarchakacharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai, Grantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 2, Text 7. Narayanya Pashuvrata Krankula Dranya Alankrataha Chitra Druma Suradhyana Kalakanta Vihangamaha Nanaranya Pashuvrata Shankula Dranya Alankritaha Chitra Druma Suradhyana Kalakanta Vihanganama Narananya Pashuvrata Shankula Dranyalankritaha Chitra Druma Suradhyana Kalakanta Vihanganamaha. Shankula Dranya Alankritaha Chitra Druma Suradhyana Kalakanta Vihangamaha. Thank you. Shankula Dranya Alankritaha Chitra Druma Suradhyana Vihangamaha Nanaranga Pashuvrata Prashuvrata Shankula Dranyalankritaha Chitra Druma Suradhyana Nana with varieties of Aranya Pashu, jungle animals, Vrata with a multitude, Shankula, field, Droni with valleys, Alankritaha, very beautifully decorated, Chitra with varieties of, Druma, trees, Suradyuna, in gardens maintained by the demigods, Kalakanta, sweetly chirping, Vihangamaha, birds. Translation: the valleys beneath Trikuta mountain are beautifully decorated by many varieties of jungle animals, and the trees which are maintained in gardens by the demigods. Varieties of birds chirp with sweet voices. Next verse. Sarit sarobhir achodhai pulinayar mani valukai devastri smajjanamad moda sorabham vanilayar jutaha. Chikuta mountain has many lakes and rivers with beaches covered by small gems, resemble grains of sand. The water is as clear as crystal, and when the demigods themselves bathe in it, their bodies lend fragrances to the water, the breeze, and the breezes, thus enriching the atmosphere. Purport: even in the material world, there are many grades of living entities. The human beings on earth generally cover themselves with external fragrances to stop their bad bodily odors. But here we find that because of the bodily fragrance of the demigods themselves, the rivers, the lakes, the breeze, and the entire atmosphere of Chikuta mountain also become fragrances. Since the bodies of the demigods in the upper planetary systems are so beautiful, we can just imagine how beautifully formed are the bodies of the Vaikuntha damsels, or the damsels in Vrindavan, or the gopis. You can see the historical part of the Bhagavatam, and you can see the description of the heavenly planets. And Prabhupada said that even in the material world, like we like to have a nice setup. You see, any cities, they always have, they make the cities near the river. That's why we have the Yara River. In Mayapur we have the Ganga. In Calcutta also. Any cities in the world, they like to have near a river. And a lot of parks, trees, not just the buildings. If you take away the rivers and the trees and the parks, you're going to end up with only concrete buildings. So that means concrete buildings is not beautiful without the Mother Nature. What makes things more beautiful is when there is nature, natural setting. So you can see description of the heavenly planets. And it's surrounded with this opulence. The real opulence is not the concrete buildings. The opulence is the nature. Like I said, like any place in the world today you go to, and people like to see, parks and trees. Well, I lived in Hong Kong for 5 years. There's no place you can actually sit down. Everything is allocated. If you want to sit, you have to look for a park. And so if you sit anywhere, they'll shoo you off. The security guard will say, this is not a place to sit down. It's all buildings. And it's so hot because they have the air condition on. And so the heat's coming out of the building, and it's so hot. It's already hot. So you have to look, people are looking for a riverside. People are looking for a park. And it's hard to find. And you go to the park, all the seats are taken by the elderly people. Like you. We also going to get old. But it's like that in China. Train, buses. So if you're going after the morning hours, because they don't come out because morning hours, rush hours, all the people are going to work. So like after 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, all the seats are taken by elderly people because they come out. So there's no place where you can enjoy the natural atmosphere. It's all concrete building. And they cut trees. If you, long time ago, even here in Melbourne, there was all forest here. All these big cities, before there was a forest. And they chopped down all the trees and they put buildings. And these buildings are very ugly. Prabhupada used to say it's like matchbox. You see the older days, like long time ago, 100 years ago, those are churches. That's right in the center of the city. The churches are so beautiful. So much work, design. And even today, you go to India, they're imitating the West. They're having the high-speed rail, and they want to make big cities competition with the Western country. But if you look at all the temples, all temples in the south, or the north, and wherever, so beautiful, so much architect and design that the work went into it. And even India, they have all the places, the holy places, they're near those beautiful rivers. South India, there's rivers, and Calcutta also, they have the Ganges River running through the city. So they know, actually, what makes a city beautiful is when they have trees and rivers. And there's always near the river, and they make banks. And now they have ugly buildings. You look at it, there's no design on it. So here, Prabhupada explains in this purport very nicely that fragrance. If people we have to put fragrance in our body because it smells so bad. But they said they had fragrance coming out of these rivers and trees and forest. This description of the heavenly planets. And I heard even Calcutta, when the British were there, they used to clean the road every day with rose water. And you can actually make your own rose water. You can boil there's a way, you boil the rose petals and extract the water, and that's the water that comes out of that's how they make the rose water. So, there's no comparison. Prabhupada explains here the heavenly planets, and even there's no comparison of the heavenly planets with the Vaikuntha planets. There's different grades. And you see people from other yugas, like if any leftover from people from last yuga, they're very big and tall and strong. And you see Kali Yuga, and he says in Bhagavatam, Kali Yuga people are going to get shorter and shorter. And they're going to be so short, they're going to be like pigs. So, everything is decreasing. Kali Yuga is decreasing. The duration of life is decreasing. We're supposed to live for 100 years in Kali Yuga. But if somebody make it up to 100 years, that's very famous. The people are dying before they can reach the 100 years of age. So, and any of the city you go to in Kali Yuga, it stinks like anything. There's no fragrance. And they're cleaning all the sewages underneath. They didn't even have a proper system. You go to India, maybe it's getting better now. It smells so bad. Even you go to Vrindavan, stinks, pigs, and filthy. Only the Western devotees are living there. We're cleaning up the place. Okay, it's a spiritual world, but we need to maintain these places because it is the place of Krishna. Pastime took place. And any of these places you go to stinks so bad. You want to get out of there, and you want to go to a place where it's more beautiful. And even here, I remember last time, I flew to Canberra for the 24-hour kirtan. And they said, I want to come back by bus. Just for fun. And it's a long way to come back here from Canberra. It's 8-9 hours. It was such an austerity to traveling in the bus. They hired a minibus, and the bus you're stuck in it for 9 hours. So we stopped on the way, and we saw this beautiful countryside here in Australia. You can open your eyes wide open. You can wide open your eyes in the city because it's pollution that hurts your eye. There, The air is so clean. You can see, so fresh, you can feel it. That is natural. So what God created is always so much better than modern technology. We have the computer. If you look at it all day, you're staring at it, like meditating on it, eyes open, you're not going to have eyes left. Because the screen is emanating light. It hurts your eyes. I think they have a new screen to protect your eyes. And every day you're on a computer, you're thinking you're so advanced. Even when I travel in the train, some people, they can give themselves a break. Half an hour from my home to the city, they still take their laptop out and working. Wait till you go to office and work. They can't relax. When there is time to relax, they can't relax. So they make the city like this. There's no place you can even sit down to relax. You want to sit down? There's an allocated place. Look for a park. Where there's park, there's seats. That's why sometimes you see here in Australia, you see young people, or they don't care. They just squat down on the ground. You see them sometimes, they're sitting right on the side of the road with their clothes on. Because they're tired. They need a place they can sit and relax. And there's no such place. So these cities, was mentioned here, in the heavenly planets, are so beautiful. It says, when you look at a tree, a green, beautiful tree and flower, it's good for your eyes. You know that? When you look at the building and all the pollution coming out of it, it's only going to hurt your eyes. I used to make life ember in Calcutta. That was in the 80s. I was a small boy in Ganga. We used to go on scooter and make life embers, go to people's home. If you're out there all day, by the end of the day, when you come home, come back to the temple, you need 1 bar of soap to clean your body. You're so dirty. And you have to clean the body at least 3 times, because it's black smoke that goes onto your skin. There's no comparison, the city we have and the heavenly planets. And in Delhi, they have 100, 200, 500, 600. These are numbers when the pollution level goes up. And it's red. People can't breathe. They have to wear a mask. There's this group called Jains. They wear a mask because they don't want to breathe in germs, because they're non-violent. But also you have to wear a mask when there's pollution. It's going in your eyes and it's going in your nose. This is the very reason why people don't live long life, even though we're supposed to live for 100 years. These are practical things. And if you study the Bhagavatam and the scriptures, people those days in Satya Yuga, why Satya Yuga? Just 500 years ago. It was so clean. People were strong. Because when they eat the vegetables, they have nutrition in it. I work in the kitchen, they have eggplant this size, as big as our head. We have to put tons of spices to make it tasty, because there's no flavor in it. They're growing with such pesticides and chemicals that hardly any flavor, it just looks big. In India, we have eggplant this size, and it's so full of taste. I still can remember my mother used to make begun bhaji. You heard of that? Begun bhaji. They cut the eggplant round shape, and then they mix it in the turmeric and salt, and they shallow fry it, not deep fry it, on a pan. Today is not the day to talk about it, Ekadashi. My point is that it has so much flavor. Greenery. Now they have in Australia, they have a minister for greenery. When you vote, you can vote greenery, right? To protect the environment. On one hand, they're cutting the trees, putting buildings there. On the other hand, there are people who want to protect the trees. Trees need it. You need trees because we are CO2, the air we need that comes out of the tree. Why people are dying and getting sick? Every time we go to the doctor, to see a doctor, and it's always packed with people there. You have to make appointments. You know what kind of people sitting there? All the people that work in the office, suit and tie. And they're all sick. You don't find people that work in the farms, they're going to see the doctor, right? They're strong because they work hard. And they're breathing fresh air in the countryside, working in the fields. People all day in the computer, they have problem when they're 50, 60, they have problem in the nerves. And the shoulder ache because it's connected to your shoulder. And you think, oh, I'm so advanced, I have a computer. Look at this guy, they work in the farm. And they're all sick. They can't see properly because their eyes are looking at the computer all day, the screen. And they want to talk to you, they go, Hare well, Prabhu. They can hardly see you. They're like, If you look at it on the phone all day, we had one brahmachari here, Brahma Prabhu, remember him? He kept his phone in the bag, never kept it in pocket or in the pocket, never carrying it, didn't answer it always. You have to answer it. Sometimes devotees don't answer the phone, so too busy chanting. But you have to answer the phone. But then beside that is to put it, because there's radiation in it. I have a friend, he can't go near the phone. He will get sick and freaks out. It affects your nerve. I think, yeah, I have an iPhone, I'm so advanced. I've heard when I was in China, these kids come from the villages and they work really hard so they can save up to get an iPad, an iPhone. That's their advancement. We say chanting Hare Krishna, 16 rounds, quality japa is what you make advancement. But they say if we have an iPhone, an iPad, you make advancement. This is their idea. So my point is, Kali Yuga has become so degraded. People are like machines. Even when you're talking to them, they're like machine. They're looking somewhere else. But they're looking at you, but their mind is somewhere else. They're not paying attention. Oh, can you say it again? Brains become dull. We give them nice prasadam, fresh vegetables. Then, no thanks. I rather eat in McDonald's. Chips. The chips they eat is not fresh, frozen. And they put a lot of spices to make it tasty. So when you give them the fresh food, they don't appreciate it because their tongue is gone. The tongue is flavored by chemical. So when they eat fresh food, they don't appreciate. They rather eat chemical. Yeah, so that's what's happening. People are becoming like a machine. If I was giving Bhagavatam class, I'd be swearing at you. We have to be respectful. So this is, and you think, oh, we are so advanced. We have airplanes, we have missiles, we have this, we have that. Each missile costs $1 million. You know how much money that is? All these people sitting on the side of the road, they can use that money to have a home. Throwing each missile, and they destroy all the nature, earth, trees. So inside that thing, it has a lot of chemical. That's why people go to the war. They all go cuckoo after when they come back. They can't talk with you nicely. Their brains dull because they're smelling the chemical. They become retarded. Those days, during the Kurukshetra battlefield took place, they can shoot an arrow at a pregnant lady and not hurt the Mataji. Only the person in the womb. How accurate it is. That was the technology. And we think, oh, we have computer. I can sit here and not even go out and shoot the missile. And when the missile lands on your house, not only kill everybody, destroy the house, and your kids, everybody, and you can't grow any food there for 100 years because the earth is destroyed. And they say, oh, we have a very advanced machines, because they are machine themselves. So always the Vedic culture is much superior to modern advancement. You know, people are forgetting how to even sign signature because they use the computer now. Oh, you ask them, they have to look in their phone because the brains become dull. They don't have anything in there anymore. So we have to become so Krishna conscious that literally we need to inject Krishna consciousness in our heart. Trene brahma hidayadi yat kavaya muhanti shuraya. When the earthly planet was disturbed by the demons were destroying the earth, the world, and the Bhumi Devi, the Mother Earth, took the shape of a cow and complained to Brahma, please do something about it. And the demigods, they went to the bank of the ocean. And Lord Brahma spoke to Lord Vishnu, please take birth, please come and help. Tene Brahma, and he got the message. Lord Brahma got the message. Heart to heart. Such is the advancement. Now we call people and you break a ear with chemical, with the radiation. No, the heart to heart, that's advancement. Those days they had the studies, the schools, Gurukul, they study under a tree without pen and paper. Shruti Dhara. In India there's a microphone, they have a speaker, it's called Shruti Dhara. You know that? In Bengal. Shruti means to hear, Dhara means to hold. They could understand and memorize it just by hearing. They don't need to write it down. So they repeat, that's the Vedic system. They repeat, after you just know it. You haven't even looked at the verse, but they just know it. Now, oh, wait a minute, you look up in the computer. When the death comes, yeah, what did you say? Hare Krishna, is it? And you look up. You have to remember Krishna. So, this here, the description of the heavenly planets. It's amazing, but you don't need to go to heavenly planets. There are places on earth when you go, it's so beautiful also. Last year, or this year, I went to Fiji. If you haven't, Fiji is a very amazing place. It's not very advanced. People still walk around with no shoes, and they're drinking coconut. And we stopped on the side of the road, and you can literally climb the coconut tree and get coconut, like in South India. I stayed in a hotel in South India, in Kerala, and the coconut trees was bending down on the roof. So I was getting it off from the coconut when I was on the roof. I went for a job, I walked and got a coconut. And nobody's bothered about it. There's coconuts meant for the people that live in the hotel. So I was in Fiji, so clean river, and there's very hardly any people there, so that's why also. Everything is fresh. You can buy a coconut for 50 cents here. And this guy was selling a huge pile of coconut. And he says, $10. And my friend, he beat it down to 50 cents. They said because the reason why they can put the price down so low, because they stole the coconut for someone's tree. And they're selling it. These local people. So there's coconut trees, mango trees, so fresh gardens everywhere. People are not worried. I felt like no difference from heavenly planets. And that's why Krishna says, there's no need to go to heavenly planets. There's heavenly planets here also. Why you want to go to heavenly planet? You work so hard, do austerity. Just go to Hawaii, go to Fiji. Even in Melbourne, you come out of the city on the way to our farm. They're so beautiful. The small towns, only people are living there, old people and dogs. Sorry. Young people are working the head off in the city. Well, you can go countryside and live peacefully. That's why Prabhupada said, simple living, high thinking. Oh no, don't tell me that. I want to do hard working like a donkey. I like it. So Mother Nature is giving us, Krishna is giving us everything, but we prefer to work hard and live a hard life. We asked one person in Calcutta, he was living on the roadside. We said, you can come and live with us, very nice, have nice pushadam, and chant Hare Krishna, be happy. He said, no thanks, because I can't give up bidi. You know, bidi is a homemade cigarette. They wrap, sometimes people here make it too. They put some, you don't know what they put in. So, if we want, we can make this world a beautiful place too. We are destroying it. Even I remember in the 70s, I was born in the 60s, mid-60s, and I remember in the 70s, you can drink the water in Jamuna. In the 70s, not long ago. And you can see the fish underneath. They're so clear. You can see the sand underneath. We walked across the Jamuna to the bank on the other side so we can play soccer, because it was Jamuna bank. You can walk through it so clean and you can drink the water. Not long ago. Before the bottled water came. I remember the first time the bottled water came. Wow, it's amazing. We were not thinking of the water, we were thinking of the bottle, how it looks like. And then my friend, my teacher, he bought for the first time, when I first saw Coca-Cola, he bought a big bottle of Coca-Cola. You know the 2-liter Coca-Cola? From UK. So we all Gurukul boys were sitting around, he took it out of his bag, like, we thought, well, he's going to take out some Mahaprasharam from. He got this big bottle of Coca-Cola. He said, wow. And he was giving to us like Charnamita. It looked so, like, wow, Coca-Cola. I had a sip of it. I said, it doesn't taste good. It tastes like awful. You know, the first time it came to India, everyone said, Coca-Cola. And sometimes they write it in the 100% artificial. And they like it. 100% artificial. Can you imagine that? And, oh yeah, I'll have it, thank you. 100% artificial, oh yeah, give it to me. You're drinking rubbish. If we have a dusty and rusty bicycle, you can clean it with Coca-Cola and it'll be shiny straight away. That bad for your stomach. People who drink so much Coca-Cola, you see them in the street, they're talking to themselves. That's them. They had too much Coca-Cola. And they make advertisement like it's growing in a tree. Oh yeah, let's get a bottle of Coca-Cola from a tree. And people have pear tree, apple tree, you know, in the backyard. And they're so dumb, they go into the supermarket and buying the apple. They have apple tree in their backyard, and it's falling to the ground. Have you seen it? I've seen it. Lemon tree, and they buy a bag of lemons from a supermarket while they have a lemon tree in their home. They said, no, it's too natural, we want artificial. So, we destroyed the planet. And you say, oh, God doesn't exist. Look at our earth. Who destroyed it? It's not God's fault. Oh, no, this world is so bad. We want to go to heavenly planet. You can make your heavenly planet. It's as good as heaven. You can see some places you go, it's so clean. But people prefer to live a dirty place. I've been to some people's home. They live like pigs. There's clothes everywhere, smelly. I went to a friend's house when I was living in Hong Kong. They're from Gurukul, my old friends, American boys, and they live in Hong Kong. So they invited me to their home. And that was my first time. I never went again. It was so filthy. They had cats sitting here, cats sitting there, you know what I mean, like animals. And their clothes they never folded, messy, didn't clean the home like hundreds of years. So filthy. So this is not Brahminical. And then he gets sick, it's, oh, I'm sick because I work so hard. Too much devotional service. No, because you live like a pig. That's why. And then you blame God because you did so much work for Krishna. I haven't heard any devotees dying from doing devotional service. It's because he ate too much, or he enjoyed too much, or something or the other. It's something that is not Krishna conscious that's making us sick. Sometimes you're sick after you becoming a devotee because you had drugs before you joined. That's coming up. And then you blame, oh, Krishna. I'm having a lot of arguments with people who left ISKCON in the messenger, in the phone. They're criticizing, oh, Hare Krishna. Krishna consciousness is pure as, like it says here, crystal water. I'm from Bengal. There's a bird called Pakhi. One bird, when they sing, they go, I forget, Patik Jal. It means crystal water. And it says here, crystal water. When you look at the water, so clean, you can see your feet or the fish. And they go, Fatik Jal, oh, that's the bird. You don't have any Fatik Jal, those kind of bird here, because they know the water's filthy. So when you talk about heavenly planets, it's so amazing, must be so amazing. That's why we don't want to go to heavenly planets, because it's so amazing that you're going to forget Krishna. There's a park here, I didn't know about it, and it's somewhere around where the memory, you know, where they put the soldiers, that, what do you call that? Shrine memory. Just around there, there's a park you can go in. And I was wandering around, I went there, it's really beautiful in there. You feel like you're not in Melbourne anymore. So all trees from around the world and birds chirping. I didn't see any birds, maybe they put the speaker in there somewhere. And very clean, because they're preserving it. But they know the real cleanliness and real nature, you have to preserve that, because that's what gives us life and health. You breathe all day, all the chemical, and you're driving, you will get sick. But you need that nature to survive. I remember me and my friend, we had big prasadam in the morning, breakfast. They said, you're going to be out all day doing Sankirtan, you need to have a good breakfast. So we fill our stomach with halwa, puri, fruits, khichdi, you name it, everything. Everything they had, we put it all in the morning, and 9 o'clock in the morning. And we were going to Sankirtan. And you know what happens? You can't concentrate with all that prasadam sitting in your stomach. Your eye is going to be blurry. It's like, you want to sleep, actually. And that's what's happening to us. Drivers sleep, I'm asleep. Luckily, our car was in the last lane towards the road at the field, not in the middle lane or closer to the center. We both we wake up, our car was in the field. So, Hare Bol Prabhu. We had too much prasadam this morning, and we were burping. So that's what happens. We can concentrate on the spiritual life. So if you go to heavenly planet, you can enjoy all these things. So that's why this story is coming to Gajendra. And the stories here, and the birds and the peacocks and elephants and tigers, they're all in the forest. When I lived in China, I never saw one bird flying across. You know why? Because they ate it all. Not one there. Here, I couldn't believe it. Even if you're sitting in the street, there's pigeons coming so close to your feet. That's unheard of over there. So animals, they need to be protected, they need to feel fearless, because they know people are not violent. They can come close to you. The people are good. So here, the story is going to come to Gajendra. He was living in this forest with all these animals. They feel comfortable in the forest. Elephant Gajendra, he was a devotee. We never heard devotee animal. We have human beings like animals. They're not devotees. They're talking to themselves. I thought, when I first came to Australia in the 80s, I remember, like in our village in Shantipur, we didn't see anybody walking in the street talking to themselves. I said, oh, this guy is pagal. We all know that. I came here like everybody's walking in the street talking to themselves, practically. Now everybody on the phone. They're not even holding the phone because they have the speaker. So I had somebody, my friend came from India. I said, they all pagal ho gaya, dekho. They're talking to themselves, but they're actually on the phone. So, Gajendra was an elephant, but he was pure devotee of Krishna. When he was in trouble, he was in the water, he didn't know what to do, he got attacked by a crocodile. Crocodile is a nasty animal, actually. They have this thing called, Indraduna Maharaj is telling this story, they call in South America jagara. Jagara means crocodile. Okay, new word. And so they were in Amazon, and they have these places called quicksand. You heard that? Quicksand? If you fall in the quicksand, in the sand, your body starts to go down. You can't help it. It's going to go down, you'll die. So these crocodiles, what they do, they come quickly, and then they chop off, they bite off your head, whatever's left before you go down the sand. So Maharaj, I don't know if he fell, maybe he was just making up. He said he fell down in the sand from the boat. And sometimes people sleeping in the class, so you have to make the story more interesting, so you can make up a little bit. So I don't know, I'm just saying. So he said he fell down in the quicksand. And then he saw, it was nighttime, and he saw two eyes. The eyes that lit up at night, in the dark. That's the crocodile. They're waiting for someone falling off the boat. And Maharaj fell down. And before the crocodile can get him, they pulled him up. He was just telling the story. So the crocodile can be very nasty. They'll eat you up and stuff. So this crocodile got this Gajendra. And the story will come, you haven't get to that yet. Gajendra, he didn't know what to do. He knew that the only solution is to pray to Vishnu. And he wanted to give him a gift. He picked up a lotus on his trunk and was offering to Vishnu. This is the attitude. Don't think that animals also can be very devotional, we don't know. Like I said, people here, walking around, two arms, two legs. I say, hello, how are you? They're not here. Their mind's somewhere else. They're not thinking. But the animals sometimes very, very conscious. They're very aware of things. That's why I used to work with cows in Mayapur. when I was a small, like your age, and they put me in the Goshala because I was very strong. Still I'm strong, but I'm slowing down a little bit. Very strong, says you have to work in the Goshala because you're strong. And some boys are very weak and stuff. They put them in the garden, pick flowers and stuff. So you have to work. I said, if I work in a Goshala, you have to feed me more prasadam. Yeah. They said, okay, fine. So everybody was sitting, they taking prasadam. I had double amount than they had because I work hard. They said, fine. And so the cows, you clean their body, you pat them in their neck, they become your friend. And they call them, hey, Surabi, idhar aao. They come. You call Surabi, Surabi come. Here I am. Where's my grass? You know, like that. So animals are very friendly. They're not nasty as you think. People are more nasty than animals. I remember, this is among us. Okay, we were sitting down taking prasadam with another devotee. So he had these sweets. So I was trying to get it off. I was small. When I first came here, I was only under 20. So I wanted to get that. He says, if you touch this prasadam, my plate, I'm going to put this fork right through your finger. So I had my friend next to him. Let's see what he does. So I didn't dare because he was very upset. He was going to put his fork through my finger if I took his prasadam from his plate. We don't do stuff like that. If somebody wants prasadam from your plate, give him. Especially if he's a small boy. Otherwise, they will lust over your food. Eat that, you're going to get sick. There's subtlety. You go, you have a rasgulla on your plate. And then you eat that, you're going to get sick. Or eat it quickly before they lust over your food. This drishti. People give, they put eyes, bad eyes. Not easily on the food, spiritual food, but so much they lust over that you feel sick. Anyway, so animals are very friendly. You can develop friendship. So this crocodile is not easy to make friend with. They can chop off you, eat it. Vegetarian meat, it tastes so good. So better not go near it. So Gajendra, an elephant, where he was bitten by, and he was not letting go, and he prayed to Vishnu. So sometimes, even amongst us, we hold grudges. We don't let go. This devotee did this to me. I'm not going to forgive you easily. And you hold grudge for a lifetime. Haribol. And they don't even say Haribol. They walk off. They even leave the ISKCON sometimes. And it's all Krishna's fault. Because we had some issue amongst ourselves. No. We have to work together. We have to be kind to each other. We have to be loving to each other. Not just to outside people, the people that we live with amongst us. We have to make the place so comfortable and so nice that we want to live here. That's the principle of devotion. Brahmananda Maharaj, when he first joined, he said, I'm not living in this ashram anymore. I want to go away. So Prabhupada put a big bowl of gulab jamun. You like gulab jamun? I know you kids like it. Last time I didn't make gulab jamun. He came in Harinam, he said, he makes gulab jamun every time. And I'm sorry I disappointed you. Next time you come to Hare, I'll make gulab jamun. But Prabhupada put a big bowl of gulab jamun at the doorstep. I was thinking, I'm going to go away. And I saw this big gulab jamun on the doorstep. I said, that's like a miracle. I wonder who did it. So he took one, and it was so good, made by Prabhupada. It'd be absolutely beautiful, and it'd be so delicious. So he ate one, ate two, maybe 10. And he was dozing, and he went back in and had sleep. They ended up devotee whole life. He never went back again. That's the trick. So to trick people to become Krishna conscious. So when Gajendra was his leg was caught in the mouth of a crocodile, Jakara. He was not letting go, and so he had to pray to, and they're very strong in the water. Elephants are not. And Lord Vishnu came. He took the sword, chop! Head's gone. And he was very thankful for Lord Vishnu's coming. So Krishna comes. You have to be sincere in your prayers. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, ha, I finished my rounds. Hare Krishna, another, second round. Hare Krishna, you know. Sometimes the parents, they tell, oh, my son, my daughter, do 16 rounds a day. I saw them how they chant the japa. Oh, Haribol Maharaji, where's Vishal? 1 round. It takes at least 7 minutes to 8 minutes to chant a good round. And in 1 hour, it is 16 rounds. I don't believe that. But Maharaji said, my daughter is like so nice, Sudha Bhakta, is pure devotee, chanting 16 rounds. That's good. At least encouraging them. But we need to see, are we actually sincerely chanting? Don't expect Vishnu to come with a, just because he offered a flower to Krishna and then he's going to come to you, on a flower airplane. Here I am, where's my flower? No. Srila Prabhupada was coming to a temple in New York. When Prabhupada used to come to visit temples, people already knew months before his arrival. We're getting ready for his arrival. And we're counting the days. So the temple president was too busy getting things organized for Prabhupada's arrival. So when Prabhupada arrived, and they had 2 lines of devotees on the side of on the step to the temple. And everybody had something to give him. Flower or some gift, whatever. So this Prabhu president, he didn't have anything, he didn't have time to get. So he got 1 flower that wasn't fresh. But at least he had that desire to give Prabhupada some gift, like everybody else. Because he stood in the line. So he had this rose, wasn't so fresh. And Prabhupada was taking from everyone, and it was his turn. Prabhupada came to him, so he took the flower and put his back like this. So Prabhupada turned around and he had his hand up for the flower. You understand what I'm saying? So Prabhupada is very reciprocative. He knows this Prabhupada was too busy, and he accepted the flower even though it was not fresh. So Krishna, he accepts our feelings of love. But he's not forced to come down here because yesterday I did a installation of Radha Krishna, a Bengali house in Truganina. I was talking about this. Just because you chant a mantra, I say, you're chanting so mantra, like, I have to eat this prasadam. No, he's so scared. No, it's not like you chanting the mantra and Krishna has to eat it. We follow the principle because that's the principle, but Krishna is not obliged to eat that. The guy who is cooking in the kitchen, he may be thinking of his family, whatever happened the day before. The dal is not, he forgot the salt and food's not cooked properly. Maybe that's the reason. Krishna may not eat it. There's always a reason. So devotional service is a very conscious activity that we do. So when I told about, the story of Lord Krishna eating the laddu. You know the story? He ate the laddu. What is laddu Gopal? Because the laddu is eaten half. Because he was actually eating, and the pujari, the person who cooked, his son was offering the food to Krishna, and he had to go for some work. And he offered the food, and Krishna wasn't eating. He took a stick, come down, eat, what's going on with you? I worked so hard to cook it and you're not eating. And okay, and he came and he was eating. So his father came and said, where's the prasadam? He said, what prasadam? Like when you eat everything. So he said, he ate all. He was surprised. He said, okay, he cooked again, he offered, and he asked his son to offer, and Krishna was eating. And then somewhere in the corner of a room was Krishna, was the person who was watching him eat. And Krishna saw and he stopped eating. So that's why I half-eaten laddu. He wouldn't eat because his father wasn't pure enough like the son. The son didn't chant the mantra, do all these things. But because of his purity, because of his innocency, because of his devotion, Krishna accepts it. Even the Brahmanas, when Krishna and Balarama was hungry, the Brahmanas, they refused to cook for Krishna. So now we're studying, we're busy studying, we don't have time. The essence of the mantra is to feed Krishna, is to offer food to Krishna, is to perform devotional service to Krishna, right? Then the gopis, they heard, they said, we'll cook. So this is the point. The point is, sometimes we follow rules and regulations for the sake of following, but we are not actually understanding the deep meaning of the principle of these mantras, is to have love for Krishna. That's the underlying principle. So here, all these things are there, but underline everything, the facility we may have, beautiful garden, the rivers, and all these things, ultimately is for the pleasure of Krishna. We can live simple life, but for preaching we accept it, for preaching. Samadhya, you understand? Just like when Sudama Vipra, when he came back to his hut, there was no more hut because Krishna transformed his hut into a golden palace because his wife wanted it. And Krishna gave. He said, I'm not living in here. I'm going to live in the hut where I can remember him. So sometimes we have a lot of facility. These facilities can make us forget Krishna. That's why. Nothing wrong to have material things as long as you can remember Krishna within that comfort zone. So we don't get too comfortable. But you can have the comfort if you can remember Krishna. You can be surrounded by. So heavenly planets, you can go to heavenly planets if you desire to preach to the demigods and sell them a book. Right? If their motivation, you can go to heavenly planets. Previously in Satya Yuga, the demigods used to come down here and the people living here, they used to go to heavenly planets. There's interaction between demigods and human beings. And now we can because demigods don't even want to come down here. Not even a bathroom they want to go to because it's so dirty here. So, it's not that we have to understand the underlying principle of Krishna consciousness is to imbibe devotion to Krishna. It's not a fashion. We do things out of fashion. Or we are doing because we are doing it, we have to do it because it's a principle. It is, but at the same time, understand what is the underlying principle is that how to attract Krishna, how to please Krishna, how to please Guru. If the spiritual master says, bring me a glass of water, they always use this example. And you think, no, Prabhupada would be more pleased if I brought a glass of milk. No, he asked for water. So we have to do things exactly what the principle says. At the same time, don't speculate. Understand that reason why we're doing it, because it pleases Krishna. Forgetting your own enjoyment. So that's why here, a description of the heavenly planets. But devotees don't want to get to heavenly planets. But we don't mind to go to heavenly planets if our spiritual master wants us to go there. If we can go there to preach Krishna consciousness. If it can increase our love for Krishna, we can go to heavenly planets, okay. Or make this place like heavenly. So you have to understand what is the principle behind what we do. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions? Today's Ekadashi, and Sometimes devotees, they look forward to Ekadashi because you want to chant 16 rounds, extra rounds, study more, and increase your japa. Maybe sometimes you may think, oh, they have Ekadashi pizza, whatever. Think in a positive way. So it's a good day to do more service, come to the temple, cook an offering, volunteer to serve Krishna, serve the devotees. And maybe says, I know devotees tell the day before or 2 days, oh, I'm fasting. Don't tell anyone you're fasting because you lose your potency. I've heard. Just do it inside your fast, but always you can talk to Krishna. I'm chanting, I'm fasting. Please help me to serve you nicely. Increase my love for Krishna. Because when you talk to people, they don't understand sometimes. But if you talk to Krishna, He knows us. You can tell Krishna, please help me to control my senses. Please, today's Ekadashi. You made this Ekadashi here today. I want to observe it nicely. Please help me. Don't break it. Like that. So you can interact between you and God. In fact, He's sitting in our heart. So if you are devotional, you can get into that attitude of behavior. So these days, Ekadashi or Janmashtami, or any festival days where we can become more observant within ourselves. We don't tell people go to the forest and meditate, but if you can meditate through service to Krishna, devotional service, and in this way become more devotional in our practices of Krishna consciousness. Instead of becoming a routine thing, we can learn to become more devotional in our practices, in our services, in our daily services, in our dealings, in every way. This is how Gajendra had to be Gajendra had to be very devotional to bring Lord Vishnu down. He was desperate. He was desperate, out of desperacy. So we're not thinking he's desperately, we're taking our time. So you see, like he had prana, Prabhu, he had cancer. He was not old. So never know what happens to us. And he said, I don't want medicine, I'll go to Vrindavan chant till I die. Kadambakar Maharaj, many other devotees. They could take medicine, live long, but they know time is short. We can chant Hare Krishna sincerely, and Krishna will bless us from within. Okay. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.